worst is bound to happen. When you create an institution, you gave it status. When creating the medieval university, the perfect example of the medieval university is the Sorbonne. It was granted by Rome some sort of a privilege. It was a court of appeal. If you were refused your MA at Oxford, you might go to the Sorbonne. No, in the case of the Sorbonne, and other universities, I believe, philosophers had no right to do theology. No right. The philosopher was then defined as only a philosopher. The theologian, on his side, was more lucky. He was only a theologian, but he was allowed to do something of philosophy. As far as the Sorbonne is concerned, the fact that the brightest commentator of Aristotle in the 13th century in Paris was not teaching at the Faculty of Philosophy, but at the Faculty of Theology. It was Aquinas. But anyway, never did Aquinas have a disputatio, oral meeting, with a member of the Faculty of Philosophy. Philosophers here, theologians there, and that was enough. It's a sad thing for the philosopher, for it excludes him from the theological debate. Sad thing for a second reason, for the philosopher in Paris in the 13th century is a Christian. I don't know whether he would consider that he's a Christian philosopher, but anyway, he is a Christian. And nonetheless, he's a Christian who, in his academic teaching, is forbidden to do any possible theology. In many cases, it happens very peacefully. One may quote the example of Siger of Brabant. Siger was probably the brightest professor of philosophy in the days when Aquinas was at Paris. Siger submitted, if I may say so, and devoted his life as a professor of philosophy to describing the natural world, the world of the supernatural, the world of grace. He had no right to say anything. And therefore, he was describing with what Jacques Maritain used to call the weapons of Aristotle, the non-supernatural. It was a good move. If you open Dante, and the best part of it, the Paradise, you will find Siger. Siger is in Dante's Paradise as precisely the one who has explored with a pure heart the secrets of nature. And you have Aquinas, not very far, who has explored, I may say so, the secrets of the supernatural world. From the side of the Faculty of Theology, things become awkward. For, except if he's very bright as Aquinas, the theologian won't do serious philosophy. So he will also only borrow concepts here and there and try to Christianize or instrumentalize the philosopher and the commentator. And that director, for what is an organic philosophy, Aristotelianism, becomes the toolbox. And one finds these tools here and there. And one of the favorite tools of the scholastic theologians was the Aristotelian theory of causes. One can't meet more causes than in a medieval commentary on the sentences. They are all here and come back and come back and come back. Another part of the Aristotelian argument is the Aristotelian theory of matter and form, which is totally meaningful in Aristotle, in Aristotle's metaphysics and physics, but which we find, for instance, in Aquinas, when he tries to develop a theory of the sacraments. And about every sacrament, he tries to find a matter and a form. It may work in certain cases. If you take the Eucharist, you have bread and wine, that's natural, it's material, and a priest says something, and that's giving form. It's slightly crazy, but we can understand it. When we come to the matter and form of the sacrament of marriage, we're on the verge of the impossible. Nonetheless, Aquinas does it. And that is worse. When you closet philosophers between philosophers, saying them that they're not allowed to do anything that's philosophy, in the end they will do what I've said yesterday philosophy was for. They will live as philosophers. In the case of Siger of Brabant, I was quoting 2 minutes ago, Siger was practicing philosophy as a work or a job, not as a life. But many people in the Faculty of Arts means Faculty of Philosophy, many people among the philosophers at the Sorbonne, in the end, decided, or were compelled to think that they were leading a philosophical life. That after all, no other life was proposed to them except the life of the philosopher. And by the way, they were so bewildered by the richness of the new philosophy offered by the translators of Aristotle that though nominal Christians, or perhaps relevant Christians, they became increasingly Aristotelian.